Madame Mirage made her first and only appearance in her own eponymous 6-issue miniseries, published by Top Cow in 2007. The series was conceived by Paul Dini, who also wrote it, basing the character of Mirage on his wife, the magician Misty Lee. Kenneth Rocafort supplied the pencils. The series is set in its own separate universe, not sharing it with any other properties. The world of Madame Mirage is a spin on the old superhero trope. In this universe, superheroes weren't sent here from other planets or born out of radioactive accidents. They were artificially created. A group of scientists suddenly decided the world needed superhuman protectors. Thus, they created technology dubbed Megatech. Megatech was used to physically enhance people, making them much stronger, faster, and giving them various powers. The people granted this technology then used it to fight crime and protect the innocent. However, soon the criminals themselves began to get their hands on Megatech as well, and rebranded themselves as supervillains. Eventually, the supervillains greatly outnumbered the heroes, and chaos ensued. The government then decided it was best to pull the plug on this whole Megatech operation, and banned any use of the technology. All mega heroes were also rounded up and imprisoned. The villains, though, wanted by the law already anyway, employed their usual methods to stay hidden. They also abandoned their Megatech, at least publicly. Banding together, these former super crooks used a company called ASI as a front, trading in their armor for business suits. Under the guise of a legitimate corporation, they continued to plot their evil schemes, and it seemed like no one could stop them. That is, until Madame Mirage showed up on the scene. A mysterious Avenger of the Night, this buxom lady began to hit various members of ASI, taking them out one by one. Later we learned that Mirage is actually Harper Temple, a young woman and former scientist who worked on Megatech with her older sister, Angela. Their father was one of the pioneering mega inventors, and also a superhero known as Goldwing. Together the Temple sisters founded a company called Temple Tech. As opposed to their father, they planned to use their genius for less altruistic goals, selling their creations for a profit. One such creation was a cloaking device dubbed the Ellison Project, which the sisters planned to sell to the military. Meanwhile, Angela met a representative of ASI, and not knowing what that corporation actually was, she made a business deal with him. However, ASI was after the Ellison Project all along, and when they realized it wasn't up for sale, they killed the temples and took it. They killed Angela, that is. Harper survived through the use of her technology. The ASI men merely shot a hologram of her. She then went underground and began to plot her revenge, perfecting her gadgets. Years later, after the ban has been put into effect, Harper resurfaces as Madame Mirage, setting her plan into motion, bringing down the ASI. The busty appearance is actually just a mirage, an illusion created by her tech. It's meant as an exaggerated image of her sister. Harper also, somehow, downloaded Angela's memories and stored them inside this illusion, so it acts as if it really was Angela. Whenever Mirage goes into action though, it's not just an illusion, but Harper wearing the illusion like a costume. She also employs various other illusion casting powers. She can basically appear out of nowhere, disappear into thin air, and become anyone. Or rather, make it seem like she's doing all of that. Besides these Mirage abilities, Harper also trained her fighting skills during her exile, and is a pretty powerful hand-to-hand combatant. At the end of the series, Harper achieved what she set out to do. She killed almost every member of ASI and dismantled the organization. She also got her father, Goldwing, released from his holding cell, which he'd been kept in ever since the ban. It wasn't a completely happy ending though, as Harper's soul had been tainted during her murderous Madame Mirage crusade. All those killings weighed heavily upon her, and she felt unfit to rejoin society. Thus, Harper refrained from reuniting with her dad and decided to stay away, at least for now. Of course, whatever happened to her after that, we never got to find out, as this 6-issue miniseries is the only thing we've ever gotten with Madame Mirage. The character has not showed up in anything outside of it. Besides basing Madame Mirage on his own wife, Paul Dini also meant the character as a nod to the Shadow. You can certainly see that. She's a dark, murderous Avenger of the Night who can cloud men's minds. The look of the character is also very Shadow-esque. That is, if old Shadow was a sexy woman with giant tits. Of course, the Shadow's powers are supernatural in nature, while Madame's are scientific. It's interesting too that this smoking hot appearance isn't actually real. It's just an illusion. That's a nice spin on a typical hot superhero heroine. If you're gonna be a physical brawler, having the body of a porn star probably isn't all that practical. But then again, Harper herself is a scrawny little thing, which also isn't very practical, so I don't know how well it really works. We all know the real reason they designed a character like this was to sell more copies of the comic. Obviously, I had similar motivations for going with that thumbnail. Anyway, enough about that, let's talk about Mirage's supposed superhero title. Can you really call her a superhero? In actuality, she's more of an avenger, and I don't mean the kind that assembles. Madame Mirage is a brutal killer who's only after one thing: revenge. She doesn't fight crime, she only goes after ASI. Sure, they are plotting something evil, but that's not the reason she goes after them. Harper would have gone after them regardless of their plans. Stopping that scheme of theirs was just a bonus or happy accident. There is one moment though when, after ASI has blown up a building, that Madame saves some innocent people. That's very superheroic, but it's also very brief, and considering it only happened once in the entire series, it feels more like an afterthought on Dini's part. I guess he really wanted his character to be a sort of superhero when she really wasn't. And I say that despite calling her a forgotten superhero. I mean, technically she is a superhero. She's got a costume, a moniker, superpowers, and she fights bad guys. But when you really think about the character's actions and motivations, she's not a superhero. One thing about Madame Mirage I both like and dislike is just how powerful she really is. She's freaking invincible, a killing machine that can't be stopped. I can't even begin to describe how she totally and utterly pawns her enemies. She's so damn tricky with her illusions. When it finally seems they've got one over on her, nope, they don't. Madame anticipated that move and has the upper hand as usual. This is truly amazing to behold, and you're just in awe of her skills. But then at the same time, because she's such a freaking badass, you never really feel the character is in any danger. You know she's gonna get out of this one easy, like she always does. So that does kinda kill the tension. Madame Mirage is not a Mary Sue though. She does have personality flaws and issues, particularly with her bloodthirst. So she is an interesting character, and of course, you can certainly sympathize with her motivations. Would I want Madame Mirage to return? No, I actually would not. Her story ended, and I don't feel there's really anything else to say about her. I would say one thing though, it ended too quickly. The series feel a bit rushed. Not Madame's arc, but the villains are just beaten too easily. And this isn't just about her being a badass, it really feels like this was meant to be a longer series, maybe 20 issues instead of just 6. Madame's fight against ASI needed to be dragged out, because at the end you're left thinking, was that it? This is supposed to be an epic battle between Harper and the people who destroyed her life, but it's not really. She fights this corporation of supervillains for 6 issues, barely without breaking a sweat, and then it's all over. Many of the various ASI rogues only get like a page or 2, and then they're dead at Harper's blade. Maybe Dini only got 6 issues by top count to tell the story, who knows? I would almost want a retelling of the whole Madame Mirage saga in animated form, maybe a 10-episode series or something. Of course, a character being so obscure as she is, that will likely never happen. So there it is, the story of Madame Mirage. Despite everything, I do recommend this series. It's not perfect, no, but it is fun and action-packed, and features a drop-dead gorgeous heroine. If you like that kind of stuff, then give it a look. Anyway, as always, remember, Arkham Asylum awaits you in the next video.